Hi Virgo, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your beginning to mid of June 2022 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. So Virgo, let's see what energy we have to be mindful of during this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. We have the Four of Wands. Okay, there's some sort of commitment that is being tested here. It could be a relationship. It could be something at work. I mean, it's kind of like we said we're going to do it, and we're going to do it, right? But Spirit is saying, at what cost? At what cost are we putting this commitment to? There can also be somebody testing a commitment that we've made to them, or we're testing a commitment. And I just really feel very strongly a commitment is being tested, and there are really big decisions that need to be made off of that. Now let's look at our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Oh goodness, right here. We have soul's healing. So this is the soul star chakra located 6 inches above our crown. There is such a sense of healing, compassionate energy, light, understanding coming to us, and it's raining down on us. So even though we can feel conflicted about things, we're not sure exactly the proper way to move forward all the time, Spirit is saying if we sit in healing and we just kind of picture that soul star chakra and that energy raining down on us, it really does help to center us, to focus us. Excuse me. So let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Excuse me as I take a sip of water. Okay, let's turn everything over. All right, Virgo. So where we are right now is with the Six of Swords. We're really moving forward in a very powerful, authentic, individualized way. We're also seeing our minds guide us. It's like cleverness is guiding us. There's somebody who's written us off, who we're going to surprise. That's very interesting. It's like they don't expect us to have the power that we do, or have the authority that we do when we're stepping back into something. It's like we're a changed person, and they're expecting us to be like a little kid almost again. Then we have our challenge, and this is the Page of Wands. Fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. There's somebody here who's acting very childish. They're just they're not bringing everything to the table, or they just kind of want to have fun and they're not taking things as seriously as they should. So just be aware of that. There's also very much a sense of we're having trouble really grasping at this time and learning how we want to move things forward. There's a sense of like we're celebrating something like we thought, and then we lose hold of it. So it's like, oh, we thought we had it all completed. Woohoo, I'm celebrating. We lost hold of it, and it wasn't quite completed yet. So we're going to have to go back and look at it again. So just be aware of this. We then have what we're focusing on. And I love this card so much because it's a Seven of Wands. So the Seven of Wands in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck is the person holding the wands, ready for battle. And here I love how she's turning her head from it. She's focusing on her solar plexus channel, so your chakra. So you're going to be channeling that energy, really focusing on what does my gut say, where is it that I need to be, what's, appropriate for me, how am I, moving forward, seeing, understanding. And with the wands pointed at us, it's like, I want to fight. And you're like, no, I'm not doing this. And you turn the other cheek. But what you're saying is you will treat me as an equal. You will see me. You will understand me. And I'm not going to play these games of fighting anymore. These games of like, I just hear it as like little wars, little battles all the time. They just drain your energy. They lessen who you are. It moves us to our past energy, which is justice. We're trying to have a lot of things fall into balance. And we wanted it all to be so just, so fair. And Spirit is saying, it couldn't be. It couldn't be. It couldn't be exactly as balanced or as fair or as cut and dry as we wanted it to be. There were so many nuances. And that's what we're seeing about our past, is that there were so many nuances coming forward. It's kind of like drawing a picture, right? And if you don't shade it, you can have a one-dimensional picture, but it's just lifeless on the page. If you shade it, if you add in the gray, all of a sudden it gives it life, it gives it depth, it gives it dimension. And that's what we're seeing here. It's the gray that gives everything meaning, that makes everything human and alive and beautiful and horrible at the same time at times. And we're finding balance and peace and justice within that. And we're also being discerning. From our past, we're being discerning at how we look at things, how we define things, how we describe things to ourselves. It moves us to our strength. And our strength during this time is the Death card, which is Scorpio energy. This is rebirth. This is the dying away of the old self, the rebirth of the new. That's why the person is so surprised to see you, where it's like, oh, wow, this isn't how I expected you to be, or this isn't what I thought. And so here, with the Death card, there is such a sense of rebirth. This is also Scorpio energy coming into play. You're very good at keeping certain things to yourself, Virgo, during this time, which is not a bad thing at all. It's kind of like if I say this is going to be a secret, I'm going to be the only one who knows about it. If I say that this is going to get done, that's exactly what's happening. We're also seeing ourselves transformed in a way that we've been longing for. We've been waiting for. We've been looking for this, and we're seeing ourselves step into this new way of being, this new understanding, and this new kind of sense of like all things change, everything has its season, and I'm stepping into the new season for me. It brings us then to our near future, which is the Ten of Cups. This is healing, beautiful love. This is a sense of peace and beauty, understanding and harmony coming together. This is a real sense of, this is my happiness. We are following our happiness. It doesn't matter if nobody else understands it. It doesn't matter if it doesn't make sense to anybody else, but we are following our happiness. And as we follow that happiness, we learn new things about us. We open up new doors and new avenues. And it's just like, this is what my heart needs. And we're listening to our hearts with love and respect. It moves us to our suggested approach. Now, this is Cancer energy. Our suggested approach is a calmer approach. It's a water sign energy approach. So it's like come from the heart. All right. But we're also being told to take the reins. Take the reins, subconscious self, conscious self, really coming together, focusing on what we want, meditate on what we desire, and move forward. It's like, don't wait. Don't wait. Keep on moving forward. Keep on going after what we need. The Six of Swords, the water, there's this sense of motion. Now we have the Chariot. There is this sense of motion here. And it brings us to what we need to know. And we need to know that we need to balance ourselves. We need to know that we have a lot that we're juggling, a lot that we're trying to understand. And if we don't balance ourselves, it'll all fall down. We won't be able to juggle it all. And we have this eternal prosperity that it's around us. But if we're pushing and pushing and pushing, burning the candles at both ends, not paying ourselves homage and respect the way that we need to, it becomes very overwhelming. Now, our hopes and our fears, we hope to embrace childlike innocence. This is the page of Pentacles. We are represented by the Pentacles in the Minor Arcana. And this is us. So we're coming through very much as the learner. We're coming through as the student. We're coming through as the person gaining the understanding. And here we're also finding that balance. We're having that sense of that wisdom pose, you know, in yoga, where you're letting in the wisdom, you're letting in the understanding. The hangman has that same foot, that, you know, pose here, where it's like I'm calling in the wisdom, and we're finding our balance, we're finding our center. And this is a time of learning. And our fear is that we will always be seen as a child, or we will always feel overwhelmed by the world. And our hope is that we're always learning and growing and expanding with the world. Will we always feel overwhelmed? Probably with something. You know, there's always something where you look at it and just everything is so much more than we are, right? The world is so much vaster. There are so many different ways for heartbreaks and pains and disappointments to happen, but for joys and brilliances to happen too. And it is overwhelming. So here it is finding balance within our world as we're learning more and more about it, as we're seeing more and more about ourselves. And it brings us then to our potential future, which is the Two of Swords. All of a sudden, we start to see that we're moving forward in a way that we hadn't expected. You know, one group of people are pulling us that way, one group of people are pulling us that way, and we're like, no, there's a different road that I'm supposed to be taking. Let me center myself. Let me see myself. That's why our past is all about that balance, finding that balance, because our potential for the future is embracing that balance, even though at times we feel like we've just completely walked away from it. It moves us to go deeper into the tarot. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. And spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. This one, okay. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. So we have our past, our present, and our future. Our past is the Nine of Wands. Our present is the Nine of Swords. And our future is the Star and the Page of Wands. So with the Nine of Wands in our past, we have had a lot of opinions from a lot of different people coming at us. We've also had headaches and body pain and, you know, doubts and fears, and it's manifested itself physically in our lives, in ourselves. And there's a real sense of, I cannot keep on listening to what everybody else wants, what everybody else needs, what everybody else is demanding. I have to balance me. But I also have to see how far I've come and give myself that respect, that I've stood through the battles and the wars and the chaos, and I've come out strong. It moves us to our present self, which is the Nine of Swords. We're overthinking and we're overanalyzing. We're burning the candle at both ends. We're exhausted, but yet we're still pushing ourselves. We're listening to everybody else. We're listening to everything else. We're trying to please everyone, and that's just a way of, you know, not pleasing anyone. And so here, subconsciously, even though we have all this power and all these blessings, and we're embracing new rebirth and this real sense of I'm not engaging in battles, and I'm, you know, finding this balance within myself, and I'm moving forward with what I truly love, we're doubting ourselves the whole entire time. And we have to acknowledge this. Like, what am I afraid of if I truly step into being me? What is so scary? It brings us then to the Star. And we have, for our future, you know, we have our dreams coming true. We have what we deeply wish for. This is what our soul wishes for coming forward. And we are going to be a student of our passion, of what we desire, of where we need to be, of our fire, of our inspiration, of like the spark that just comes forward. And it's like, yeah, it's time. It's time for this. Because this is what I long for and wish for and deeply desire. Our subconscious tarot message begins with the High Priestess. Through all of this, the High Priestess comes through. The veil is lifted from our eyes, Virgo. We're seeing things so much more openly, so much more honestly, so much more real than we have before. And it's changing us. We're overthinking and overanalyzing everything because we're seeing everything so much more. And it's like, oh, I didn't expect that. Or, oh, I didn't realize that person was like that. Or, oh, I thought I could trust them and I can't. But I thought this was what I always wanted to do and it's not. You know? And so this door opens and it's like, oh, okay. This veil lifts and it's like, oh, okay. How do I take this all in? How do I process this? It moves us then to our subconscious past energy and how we want to process this. It's like, okay, I'm just going to charge forward. It's just, I'm going to make it work for me. I'm going to bend it to my will. And it's like, you can't do it. You can't do that. Here, it's, I have to charge forward, knowing my mind, knowing my voice, knowing myself. It brings us then to our subconscious present energy, and it's the 10 of Cups. The worry, you know, of the 9 of Swords comes in, and subconsciously it's like, but what do I love? What am I building for me? What is sacredly and beautifully important to who I am in this moment? It might not be important in my past. It might not have been important then. It might not be important in my future. But right now, it is my everything. It is my focus. It is my brilliance. How do I nurture this? How do I let this grow within me and around me? It brings us then to our subconscious future energy. And it's the King of Wands. We go from being the student, the Page of Wands, to being the king subconsciously. It's like, I know this. I know what I need to be. I know where I need to stand. And there's such a sense of slow and steady honoring of self, but fire and determination and focus that people will overlook us. And that's fine. But we are so much stronger than they think we are. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of, the 6 of Pentacles. We're thinking somebody's going to help us out. They're going to give us the handout. They're going to help us get to that next level. They're not. It's either they're going to come in short or like they're just not going to be to where we are. But there's a real sense here of, I need to find this balance myself. And it brings us to our chakra energy, which is the 3rd eye chakra. This is clarity. We're seeing things so much more clearly, so much more openly, so much more honestly for ourselves. There's a real sense of like, oh, this is it? Like, this is what I've been looking for. And Spirit's saying, yeah, yeah. And we're going to think it's been here the whole time. That's what I keep on hearing. It's been here the whole time. And it's like, yeah, it has. But until you were ready to see it, it didn't exist at all. All right. All right, Virgo. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power and intensity of ourselves and of this time. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Virgo, and may blessings and prosperity always be with you.